Account number है.
Very warm welcome. A very warm welcome and welcome on the 34th episode, You the Nurse Talk Show. Uh, I hope you like our new session. We are with the new season and we are in the new skin. Yes, now we are with the new format because we know your taste and you love the different type of taste. So this time in this season, we will be having three sections. One section exclusively for the students, but please don't miss to watch these young dynamic girls and the nursing student with their beautiful ideations, as well as the marvelous speaking skills. Our second section will be the inspirational story by the nurse leader, and third is exclusively you. Yeah, that's the name of the show, is exclusively for you. It's a journal public awareness section. So don't miss any section. You will be getting so much information and that will be helping you in your personal as well as professional development. That's the main motto of the You Nurse Talk Show. Once again, welcome you all on the 34th episode You the Nurse Talk Show. Determination and perseverance. These are the two core quality which we started our UNAS talk show, and that's the quality of our today's first speaker, the inspirational storyteller and inspirational nurse. Yes, we welcome you, ma'am, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation. She is the one who belonged to Northeast, but all over the world people know her. And with her determination and perseverance, she actually achieved a milestone. And now people are making her own ideal. With that, I welcome Miss Mebam Renita Devi. She was included among the 100 uh, nurse midwives in 2020 by the WHO, UNFPA, and International Confederation. So she was recognized among the 100 fantabulous nurses all over the world. She is also recipient of National Florence Award in 2019. A huge list of awards on her name, and we can finish our whole show talking about her awards and recognition. We are really privileged to have you here, ma'am. Over to you. Thank you very much being on the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much for my introduction. A very good evening to everyone. I'm Mabam Ranita Devi. I'll give my brief profile. I've studied my BSc Nursing from Asian Institute of Nursing Education, AINE, Guwahati. And I have 6-year working experience as a staff nurse in Primary Health Center, Haingang, Manipur. And on the time, our role was only with our respected area. That is, if we are posted in the labor room, then we are performing labor room activities only. So in the year 2018, I underwent Bridge Program Certificate course on Community Health Nurse. The program is initiated by the Government of India, and it is for 6-month training course. And I've completed now, and I'm working as a community health officer at Health and Wellness Center, Awang Wabagai, Imphal West, Manipur. And as a CHO, Community Health Officer, I would like to share what are the job responsibility of a Community Health Officer. The job responsibilities are implementation of national program, administration and management at Health and Wellness Center, health education and encourage awareness about family planning, maternal, child health, and non-communicable diseases, preventive, promotive, and curative services, and identification of danger sign and referral after pre-stabilization, and implementation of biomedical waste disposal guidelines and infection control policies, and supervision of health worker and maternal health and child health, family planning and nutrition. So CHO is playing dual role. They are playing clinical function, public health function, managerial role for the efficient functioning of the health and wellness center. Just imagine, community health officer are playing multitasking role and with the skill learned through the training. So I would like to share what is Health and Wellness Center. The sub-center is converted into Health and Wellness Center under Ayushman Bharat. And in a previous time, the services were only immunization, ANC care at the sub-center level. But after the upgradation of the Health and Wellness Center, now it is providing expanded package of services to achieve universal health goal for all people. So the services are care in pregnancy and childbirth, neonatal and infant healthcare services, childhood and adolescent healthcare services, family planning and communicable disease including national health programs, and also management of common communicable diseases and outpatient care for acute simple illness and minor ailments, and also screening, prevention, control, and management of non-communicable diseases, and care of common ophthalmic and ENT problems also, and also basic oral health care, emergency medical services, screening of management of mental health ailments, and lastly, elderly and palliative care services. So all these services are provided by the community health officer leading the team of the Health and Wellness Center. So about palliative care, while mentioning, I would like to share one of the short story, like how palliative care begins in our Health and Wellness Center. One fine day, like my ASA told me, Madam, there is one patient who is bedridden at our village. Then I say, okay, let's go and visit him. We pay home visit with my ASA and I had a talk with the patient. And I came to know the patient was suffering from lungs cancer. And he told me, Madam, I want to get up, sit outside for a moment and see the nature. And I said, okay, tomorrow we will come. And we requested her wife that, Auntie, will you permit us to carry out some nursing procedure to the patient? She gave permission. And on the next day, we went and provide bed bath, hair care, skin care, massage, and make him sit at his veranda. And suddenly, patient tears roll out from his eyes and said to me, Ma'am, today I feel that I'm rebirthed again. And I feel so happy to see you all who came at my hopeless moment. But today I have no words to thank you all. At that moment, patient feel that he might stay longer if we come in a daily or regular basis. So this was how palliative care begins. And I also realized one day we all will go through this journey, so-called palliative care. And this is the story how palliative care begins in our Health and Wellness Center. So under the leadership of the community health officer with the team, we are providing all these services. And about elderly, I want to share a few innovative ideas carried out by the nurses. That means us, community health officer, as day by day elderly people are getting aged and they are getting older. So we need to provide wellness activities, stress-free mind and stress-free place so that they can live a bit longer of their life. So what we did, we, the nursing personnel, we organized laughter club, musical dance exercise, statue music dance. These are some of the innovative which we are carrying out in our center. This is also one of the services we are providing. And people keep on asking me, how can you change society? But from my side, I must say, changing society is not an easy task. In my view, I think like-minded people needs to have talks on different topics. It is not possible to change a society overnight by an individual. According to my personal experience, we can change our society by imparting awareness program on various health talk fields, giving various health advices and practices, and let us motivate them to do on regular basis. I take the help of social media often, and I post the daily or weekly activities to be followed. And I mentor all the community health officers in India through social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, keep encouraging them and motivating them. These also help to share and inspire my colleagues and my fellow being to follow my practice. So I received many feedbacks and new ideas from them. And I could see them many changes and my friends following the trends. In a larger view, I want the higher authority, the NGOs, the policymaker, youths, volunteer to look upon these small steps of us to make it a bigger step towards the good health of the society. And it would be possible with the help of the leader, I feel. Now, one positive factor, I should mention it, that is one of the frequently asked questions to me is, your salary is yet too low and you're giving much so effort. Why you are having interest on it? I also could arise the same question to them, but why such question in a work atmosphere? As effort reflects action. Everything we do would surely bring a change. Working for a salary is something centric only within ourselves. Working in the health sector are meant for public. Devotion is much needed, and the positive factor is our interest. And it attracts the people, public, and patient. We should not be demotivated by the numbers or the visit on our salary. The public have recognized us. Now our tireless effort, our tireless work. So why not our different concerned department? So my fellow dear CHO, Community Health Officer of India, and all the nurses, our effort could make a big difference. So I strongly request through this, the Nurses Talk Show, social media, Facebook Live, to please analyze on the CHO to bring up more chance and opportunity to improve more and go forward with it. And now I must mention the ever-coming challenges after posting of the CHOs in the center are availabilities of suitable skilled human resources and provision of free drug supply. And there is increased rapid number of OPD patients in the center and increased access to service like free lab tests, then free medication, free drugs, NCD screening, palliative care, elderly care services, etc. And about the digitalization, IT is very important nowadays. So in IT section, what CHO are doing is enrollment of the 30 years and above for the screening of the non-communicable diseases, that is diabetes, hypertension, cancers, and data entry at the portal is increasing day by day. And health promotion, as I mentioned, laughter club, yoga, etc. Everything has been carried out. And community mobilization involvement. This is one of the major overcoming challenges, I must say, because without the help of the community, without the participation of community, we cannot achieve or we cannot get the health for all goal. So the community people have involved in our activities, and now we are overcoming the challenge and we can provide the services to them. And my main objective as a CHO is to achieve universal health coverage, to attain sustainable development goals, to promote better health services at the nearest center, that is health for all. And I must say some of the plan, future vision as a nursing profession. So we, the community health officer, nurses in the Manipur, we are planning and we are hoping, we are aiming to open palliative care and elderly care home run by the nurses. And we are having an aim of 5 to 10 years plan to have a home run by the nurses. So I need the help of all the public, the respective authorities to support us, to guide us so that we can achieve our vision in our 5-year plans. And sometimes people usually ask me, what motivates you keep on doing? So I must say, the care and the services, whichever I'm serving and providing to the patient, are benefiting. So it makes me motivated to keep doing. Some of the motivational word I must say from my side, that is, health is important for all. Everyone deserves to enjoy a good quality of life. The government, through the Ayushman Bharat initiative, has made a very nice program that need to sit in the last home in India. I think it's my duty to ensure services to reach the people. If I don't make change in this generation, the future generation will suffer. I always wanted to be a caregiver, and now I feel I can play a bigger role, including that of a leader for my team through this program and ensure quality health care to the people, which is their right. My humble request to all the viewers who are watching today's session, I must say, let us provide our best services to the people around the globe so that we can bring many more change to improve our quality care service for the entire population. As the saying goes, united we stand, and we could move the mountain together. So my dear young nurses, please, please, please choose Community Health Officer job prospect. Together we will work and try to provide the best service to our Mother Earth, India. Thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Siri Devi, and thanks to the Nurses Talk Show for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
It's immense pleasure. We can listen you even hours and hours. And let me tell you, you are the epitome and a paragon of a next leader. You know how to use the platform. You know how to talk. The most important part, you are such a powerful mitochondria of inspiration and motivation. I know many of the students who are in the chat room right now and in this room will be opting CHO as their future career. And thank you very much for keep emphasizing and re-emphasizing on this point. Let me tell you, everyone, she is the real example that nothing is impossible. People keep talking about so many things, and I'm glad and delighted to hear a nurse who is not talking just like a nurse. She's talking like a public health expert. She is more talking about the people and the patients, who actually need us. So this is a high time that nurse start talking in the public language, the way Ranita ma'am did. And let me tell you what is her credit. When you see her CV and when you'll see her awards, I hope she will be having two house to have her, shields and the certificates. So thank you very much, ma'am. It was an excellent motivational speech. So once again, thank you very much on the behalf of whole Nurse Talk Show. Congratulations for your so many, international awards for you. Over to Rekha Di for the next session. I request all the students be charged because we are having next section for the students a debate. So over to you, Rekha.
Thank you, Rupa. Thank you, Ranita. A very good evening to one and all present here. We are back again with another interesting and excited episodes of Nurses Talk Show, that is student debate. And the topic of today's debate is, can India retain their nurses? To talk about on this topic, we have two young, passionate and energetic nursing students. Not taking much time, I would like to invite our first speaker of debate, Ms. Kusum Karmatiga. She is a BSc third year student and belongs from Delhi only. She is having dream to become a best palliative care nurse. So over to you, Ms. Kusum. You have to speak for the motion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Were there none who were discontented with what they have, the world would never reach anything better, by Florence Nightingale. Good evening, one and all. I am in the favor of can India retain its nurses. We often think of nursing as giving meds on time, checking an X-ray to see if what the doctors need to be called, or taking an admission at 2 a.m. with a smile on our faces. Too often we forget that all the other things that make our job what truly is caring and having a desire to make a difference. In real scenario, nurses are the backbone of any healthcare system. You don't build a house without its foundation, and you can't build a hospital without its nurses. Now, the question arises, why? Why it has become a trend in nursing to move to foreign lands for job? The answer is lack of awareness about opportunities available in our own country, India. Nursing is beyond bedside care, teaching in institutes, and following orders in hospital. The role of nurse entrepreneurs are rising. New opportunities are rising, and nursing is becoming more and more autonomous practice and a profession. We have so many new extended branches of nurses where he or she can work and earn better these days. Unconventional nursing jobs are getting lots of recognitions, earning, and fame, such as in pharmaceuticals, as a school health educators, in IT sectors, in military, army, navy services, and they can achieve various ranks such as of a lieutenant, of a captain, and of a major in militaries. These sectors are taking qualified nurses for their healthcare setup with good salary and recognitions. There are multiple of job opportunities a nurse can opt after her graduation. She or he can work as a counselor, as a rehabilitator, as an occupational health nurse, as an advocate, as a home care nurse, as an office nurse, as a school health nurse, and also in private sectors who hire the nurses. Advancement in nursing education. New curriculum prepared by INC, that is Indian Nursing Council for Nurse Practitioner Program, Critical and Primary Care, that is NPCC program commended in 2017, NPPHC in 2018, and Nursing Practitioner in Midwifery in 2020, and also availability of new posters are being done. Recently, the cabinet approved the setting of up to 260 government nursing schools at the district level to meet shortage of nursing staff. Results could help identify strategies for hospital that will manage the high turnover rates while optimizing the level of staff retention by providing effective work environment and career advancements. Many cooperative hospitals are being established and many more avenues like medical tourism are available for nursing personnel. It is a clear indication of increased demand of nurses in India. With innovative teaching and learning techniques, standard of nursing is being raised in India. As change leaders within a healthcare organization, nurse educators should assess and evaluate the impact of introducing innovative strategies against how they'll shape the changing role of nurse. In situ stimulation in interpersonal education and training and in e-journal clubs. And also with the introduction of OSCE, that is OSCE, objective structured clinical examination methods. Many short terms and specialty courses are available in nursing for enhancing their skills and knowledge. They can pursue courses like PGD in, that is post-graduation diploma in critical care, in neonatal and in hospital administration and etc. after their BSc nursing. They can these courses help the professionals in evaluating their career and also improve their salary scales. Article published in Bulletin of World Health Organization in 2010 in India that progress is being made of the issue related to nurses retention. And according to a study published in South Asian Journals of Human Resource Management, November 2016, said nurses turnover in India. Keeping these points aside, every situation has its pros and cons, such as nurses may face cultural barrier, language barrier, difficulty in adaptation with the whole new environment and culture. They also face difficulty in their own establishment when they move to foreign lands. And migration can be traumatic for them as well as for their families. Whereas in our own country, we can grab the same opportunities without facing the above stated facts. We can easily, comfortably can work being along with our loved ones, and this will also boost up their feelings and which gonna add in their working capabilities. Rejoice in your work and never lose sight of the nursing leader you are now and the nursing leader you will become. To support the above quote, we can take the life example of Ma'am Miss Mabem Ranita Devi, Community Health Officer. From screening to cleaning, she has grabbed every possible opportunity, and now she's a team leader of community health worker at healthcare center at the very young age of 30. She is the awardee of National Florence Nightingale Award. Her example motivates upcoming nurses and also my notion of today's topic, that we can build more ladders to climb and to develop ourselves and also in the development of the country, India. Mother Teresa said in her own words, do not wait for leaders, do it alone, person to person. And she and many other nursing leaders had proved this thing. Therefore, I stand strong in my opinion that yes, India can retain its nurses by streamlining nursing education, by enriching curriculum, by strengthening faculty development, by increasing the innovative teaching techniques, and also by coming out of a comfort zone if we want to touch the sky. There are many rooms for betterment and correction. Therefore, in conclusion, I would like to end my part by saying, to do what nobody else will do, a way that nobody else can do. In spite of all we go through, that is to be a nurse. Thank you.
Thank you, Kusum, for such an inspiration words to make our Indian student to retain in India only. Thank you so very much. Now it's time to call our second speaker of our debate, that is Ms. Jyoti Nimla Ika. She is also from basic third year and belongs from Chhattisgarh. She want to work at AIMS and become the best bedside nurse. So over to you, Ms. Jyoti. You have to speak against the notion. Thank you so much.
Good evening, one and all. Now here I am to say against the point. Nurses in India are well trained and exposed to 4 different fields of activities, that is practice, education, administration, and research. They prove to be a quality nurse and has a dynamic attitude to cope up with any situation and are able to make quick decisions. In spite of having these many qualities, nursing profession in India lack high professional status, has a very low and unattractive salaries, gets inadequate recognition from the community for the service provided by them. Therefore, I came up with the opinion that India cannot retain its nurses in a long run. Today, many Indian nurses have migrated to access higher pay structures abroad, increased possibilities for professional development, or to escape dissatisfaction with social attitudes towards nursing in India. Today, due to shortage of staff, the Indian nurses have long working hours and double shifts. As a result, it affects the health of the nurses as well as that of patients. Nurses work tirelessly for hours, but they are not highly paid, whereas in other countries like US, Australia, Israel, etc., nurses do not work more than 6 to 8 hours and are well paid. Students who take loan for studying nursing cannot pay back their loans on time because of low paid wages and high interest rates. Patients have very high expectations, but because of budgets and staffing cuts, nurses cannot always meet these expectations. This put immense strain on nurses who usually have lots of patients to look after. Nurses, even after pursuing professional status, are not recognized by others, be it their superiors or the community. Autonomy is often used to describe a practitioner, nurse, or otherwise who has the ability to make independent decisions about their actions. But in India, nurses have limited autonomy and authority, whereas in other countries, nurses play a vital role in decision making. Nurses are skilled professionals who undergo training and undertake professional course to attain professional status. Still, they have often been seen as unskilled women and as handmaids of doctors, whereas in other countries, nurses are seen with highly respect. Another aspect that has not been highlighted much anywhere is of human rights in the form of sexual harassment by either doctor or the management. Violence towards nurses can range from verbal attack to something a little more serious. Some nurses find one of their biggest nursing challenges is that their workplace is unsafe and patient care is often compromised. This not only negatively affects the nurse, both in terms of her performance on shift, but also her well-being, leading to stress building and recurrence to return to work. In India, seats in nursing colleges are increasingly falling and the annual supply of nurses is short. Furthermore, qualified are eagerly looking for better paid jobs in richer countries. India, with an already dismal health system, is suffering more as nurses are migrating to other countries. Protesting nurses are often punished, as has been reported many times. In December 2009, staff nurses of the big private hospital in New Delhi went on strike demanding basic facilities and minimum basic salary of between 10,000 to 15,000. They succeeded in getting the salary hike, but those nurses at the forefront were fixed on disciplinary grounds. At the conclusion, I want to say that patients and the public have the right to receive the best treatment and services from healthcare professionals, and this can only be achieved by a motivated and well-prepared workforce, sufficient to the requirement of nurses, and facing their challenges can make nurses empowered, encouraged, challenged, and framed to continue to excel to do best without any barriers. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti and Ms. Kusum, for your wonderful thought-provoking words. Always remember, when you're in profession, when your profession becomes the passion, that the work turns into worship. Today, really feeling proud that our young generation is so passionate to work at bedside and want to achieve higher satisfaction to work with the patient. One thing I would like to add, that our nursing profession will glorify only by the best nursing care, comfort, and devotion you will add on towards your patient care. A small message to all the new generation in our profession: work for the cause, not for the applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Do not strive to make your presence noticed. Just make your presence felt in and out of the country. Now it's time to take a poll based on your presentation, that who is able to impress their listeners. It is not a competition. So over to you, Ms. Rupa Rawat.
Thank you, Ms. Rekha. We have already started the poll. I request everyone, please vote. Thank you very much. We will be closing this poll in next 12 seconds, and we will be coming up with our student quiz. Students, be ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rupa. So India will able to retain its nurses. Congratulations to both the speakers. So everybody have a strong belief that India can able to retain their nurses. It's a very good positive approach. So congrats to both of you. It's not basically competition, no right and wrong in the debate. So thanks Kusum and Jyoti for the participation once again, and over to you, Rupa. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for making my dream come true. I always wanted that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now we are coming up with the student question. Yeah. So today's student question is, which are the two most promising careers of the next decade, according to the recent news report on NDTV? I request all the students, please answer the fastest answer and the right answer with both two professions will be receiving a small amount of money through Paytm or Google Pay. Be happy to have your contribution in this. Please answer this question. Which are the two most promising career of the next decade according to the recent news report on NDTV?
Okay.
Yeah. So Shri ma'am.
Yeah. Can you share Chris's slide, please? We're reaching, time flies, and we are reaching the third section of our show today. And this is for the people, nurses' role in creating health awareness and maintaining health of people. So today's show is presented by Mr. Chris Thomas. He is a psychiatric nurse by education, and he has been working in psychiatric and mental health and teaching these to the students for nearly 10 years, in addition to teaching education, research, etc. He has undergone, we are only speaking about his relationship to mental health since the topic is mental health, and he has undergone various courses to sharpen his psychiatric and mental health skills, such as training of trainers for promotion of mental health of healthcare providers during the COVID-19 pandemic. This was organized by NIMHANS. He has undergone he has undergone facilitator training course for mindfulness-based gratitude therapy and values in healthcare and spiritual approach Vihasa. Chris is also a basic facilitator for basic holistic health and foot care reflexology certified course from Holistic Healthcare Center, Pune. In addition to this, Chris, the young dynamic gentleman, is pursuing his PhD and in no other a beautiful topic such as gratitude, which I think is hardly being studied. Over to you, Chris. We are waiting to listen to Mind and Body Connect.
Thank you so much, Madam Sridevi, for introducing me. I feel so pleasure to listen from you as well. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Nurse Talk Show, I sincerely pay my gratitude to everyone who is connected with us. And we all are here because of you viewers. So once again, welcome to this public health segment. As this segment is really made for public health, this part. So we just thought to have this topic. Before going to my topic, I just want to share one story and let us reflect whether that person is anyone from us or is it me. So it's a story about Julie, where I got an article from University of Minnesota. So Julie was a very young, charm and young lady, and she was a PhD holder. She was very good in her profession, and she was leading a good life. But in after some decades, she suddenly got some disorder that is diabetes, which is very common disorder. We all know it's a silent killer as well, right? So what happened? She was a little anxious, as we all know. When we get any disorder, we will not feel happy so much. So she was a little anxious, and she was taking all the medicine, anti-diabetes, and she was even taking her insulin as well. But suddenly she collapsed into coma, diabetic coma. For 1 or 2 weeks, she was admitted in hospital. And after that, she was very difficult to manage her life. She was not able to properly concentrate on her life. And she was very much, as she is a good, she had a good profession ladder, but still she was very difficult to find some meaning in her life. And she used to get irritation, angry, and it was affecting her diabetes. Though she was taking all the precautions, all the dietary management, everything she was following, but still she was not managing. So there was some problem in her like emotions, her in mental health. Then she got an appointment to diabetic clinic. There the doctor, along with some nurse, mental health practitioners and nurse, they took her over the charge and They started work over her, and they took every history and everything in detail, and they found that she was having some stress because of her diabetes. So she was really worried. Is it because of my diabetes? How could I got into stress? And is it really need to worry? And finally, she underwent various therapies like mindfulness, stress reduction program, and relaxation therapies, and along with her diabetic routine treatment. And in a week, or I can say in a month, she got reduced her blood sugar level, and she's managing it. So, can you just tell me, or can you just reflect about this? Because these are the simple stories which happening in every day in our life also, right? Because this is a great example of what we call the mind-body connection. This means that our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes, it will definitely affect either positively or negatively. So, so this is like Julie or everyone, maybe Chris or maybe anyone, to whenever we feel any stress or anything, this is the real issues which happenings, right? The picture itself is like a dreading picture, like very much creating worry. You can see like sick, no time, bills, payments, work, job, everything like anxiety, late night fear, overdue, anxiety, so many things. So this is really a need of the hour, I should say, because we'll see. So my question is that, are you a body with mind or a mind with a body? It's interesting, right? So body and mind both have an interconnection. You know, body and mind, we cannot separate each other. What is mind? What exactly the mind is? It is some total of various mental process. We know जो हम सोचते हैं, जो हम याद करना चाहते हैं, जो हम सीखना चाहते हैं, or whatever we are doing, our mental process, this is like our functioning. So these all are related to our mind. Our mind just grows as our body also grows. There is an example like a thinking or a reasoning habit of an adult as well as a child of a 3 year will be different, because it depends on our body. As our body grows, our mind also grows. So in our mind, there are three levels. I'm not going in any psychological class or something, but just to make you a little bit aware about this part, like our mind have consciousness, subconsciousness and unconscious. Conscious को हम कहते हैं चेतन मन, या फिर होश में रहना, लाइक हम कहते हैं पेशेंट्स को, या सब कभी हम पेशेंट का असेस करते हैं इन क्लिनिकल ऑल्सो, राइट? पेशेंट इज कॉन्शियस ओरिएंटेड और नॉट. But in the same way, it is only 10% we can say in our mind always in conscious. Right now you are listening to me, you are listening to this class, you are answering in the chat box or something like this. You are conscious what you are doing. But what exactly is the subconscious mind? It's only 50%. There's another level of our mind. Av Chetan man usko kehte hai, that is in this subconscious mind, our beliefs, whatever we think or whatever we want to believe, that we store, it have a very powerful capacity. There are some books on power of subconscious mind. We must read, all of you must read it, because it will really help us to understand about that. For example, if right now I am taking you class, but at the same time many things are going around me, but I am not aware about this. But if I give attention to that, it will definitely make me aware. That is our subconscious mind. And last is unconscious mind, जो बेहोश मन है, दो चीज हम याद नहीं करना चाहते हैं, like memories or any traumatic experience, those things goes into our unconscious mind. So it is like the Freud, the Sigmund Freud is the wonderful theories, is the best theories which I like to learn, read about his theories, because he always gave good concept. He already gave good concept on the psychiatry as well, like ego, superego. Like suppose if I am a diabetic person, but I have a craze towards sweets. So मेरा ईद जो है, that मेरा pleasure है, that is a pleasurable principle. मेरा pleasure है कि मुझे chocolate खाना है. But my superego is the another thing which is very high. That is my personality. Is like I always focus on the perfect principle. So there, मेरा perfect principle, what is right and what is wrong, what is my conscience tell me. मेरे अंदर आत्मा मुझे क्या कहते हैं कि नहीं, आप डाइट पे हो, आपको डायबिटीज है, तो आपको चॉकलेट नहीं खाना चाहिए. But my ego, the main part, in between ego and superego, that always get a clash, but it always balance also, right? So ego is always based on reality principle. So ego will tell you better not to eat now, we can just postpone. Yeah, weekly 2 बार या मे बी हफ्ते में एक बार खा सकते हैं, या फिर चॉकलेट का थोड़ा सा you can just take a small piece of chocolate. So this is the way we always manage ourselves, right? And healthy body exists in healthy mind, so we can become a happy human. So here, what is health? As everyone knows, I'm not going in detail like WHO's definition physically, how we can become more healthy. In the image itself, you can see how we are a small child image only, but it is really showing how the person is engaged, how they are making their body fit. But really, are we able to maintain our mental health? There is no health without mental health. This is for sure. Because if you're able to manage our mental health, our daily lives, our thoughts, feelings, emotions, our normal stress of life, who doesn't have stress in their life? Everyone. Optimum stress is good also. It is not bad also. But how we are able to work our life productively, that is exactly mental health. So exactly the relationship, how we can connect the mind or body, both should go in balance. We cannot separate it together. Though the mind is very complex phenomenon to learn, rather than learning about body is so easy to understand, but mind is very difficult to learn. At the same time, we should able to balance both. I'll just share you some few examples which will be really make you just like realize us, or we can even guide to our patients or those who are really not in nursing field or medical field. You can also just think about these examples. We are facing this like physical fatigue. Physically, I'm very weak today. 2 days before also, I was very stressed. Just an example I'm telling, but I was not able to work. So what happens to my mind? That was my body, but my mind. I reduced my concentration, my mood, my interest. Everything was losing. I was not able to manage my work well. So my mind also get affected. Hyperthyroidism, another common disorder in the thyroid hormones, the hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. These are the both disorders which can really create excess of thyroid hormone or less. Both can cause problem like restlessness. Many symptoms, I am just showing only one symptoms, okay? Because it is just for an idea, just as an example. Restlessness, my emotion gets affected. I get my mood fluctuation, then increased blood pressure. It's a common disorder, common symptom nowadays. Everybody got into stress and they got into high blood pressure will rise like anything because that the force exert against the wall of the artery. So it is very high. So sometimes it is very difficult to manage. And what happens? Headache. Headache is also a body symptom as well as somewhat it is like migraine type symptoms can cause even issues to your mental health, anxiety. Peptic ulcer, you know what is peptic ulcer? Medical people they know, but exactly peptic ulcer like पेट में अल्सर होना, like acidity, उसके अंदर क्या क्या symptoms होते हैं, like vomiting, उल्टी होता है, या किसी किसी को जैसे पेट full हो जाता है, ऐसा feel होता है, blotting, and they don't feel to eat sometimes. So it is very difficult situation, acidity वगैरह बढ़ता है patient के अंदर. So ये सब लाइक फिजिकल सिम्टम है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ हमारे बॉडी में कुछ ऐसे चीज होता है, कुछ स्ट्रेस के कारण भी स्ट्रेस अल्सर भी क्रिएट होता है, एंड दैट कैन कॉज इवन लाइक इरिटेबिलिटी, एंग्जाइटी. आई हैव सम वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड हु हैड दिस पेप्टिक अल्सर एंड ही वाज लिटरली सफरिंग. He used to literally getting pain in his class while like he was taking class or doing any seminar. He used to cry. So it was very difficult, and that definitely that physical pain got into psychologically affected also to him. Insomnia, this is also in the sleep disorders, lack of sleep, you're not able to sleep, but many people they all used to say insomnia या फिर हाइपरसोमनिया. बहुत ज्यादा नींद भी आते हैं किसी किसी को, लाइक डिप्रेशन वगैरह जैसे बीमारी है उसमें कभी कभी इंसोमनिया भी होता है या फिर हाइपरसोमनिया, दोनों चीज होता है. सो कभी कभी फियरफुल चीज होता है, नाइट में ड्रीम्स आना, दैट इज वेरी ड्रेडफुल ड्रीम्स. सो दैट कैन ऑल्सो अफेक्ट आवर मेमोरी एंड नेक्स्ट डे इटसेल्फ इट बिकम लाइक अ flashback if you are remembering all those things, and all the day gets affected. And diabetes, another very common disorder, and that can cause number of, along with your polyphagia, polydipsia, polyuria, all those symptoms are there physically, but mentally also you got into depression, anxiety, then all the mood disorders. So these all are simple few examples. I just want to say the mind and body effect. If you have any issue in your body, it will directly affect your mind. And it is same like vice versa. If you have any problem with your mind, it can go into body effect also. So these are the common signs, again, the same things like stress, how this image looks like, and it is very stressful, right? You're giving a strain to your eye. That stress is that mentally giving, and strain is the body issue, like strain to your eyes. The same thing, anxiety, irritation, isolation, fatigue, and the hidden problems, mental health problems, like every seventh person in India. This is a recent data from WHO, as well as Indian Society of Psychiatric Nurses. Sorry, Indian Society of Psychiatry, actually. Every seventh person, can you just imagine, from the mental disorder in India? Recent lockdown के time पे बहुत सारे लोगों को psychological, psychosocial challenges हुआ, mental issues हुआ, तभी काफी programs हुआ, काफी mental organizations, mental hospitals, psychiatric centers, they have started promotion of mental health during this recent lockdown, because people have faced many challenges like psychological, occupational, financial, or normal like physical challenges. So this was really increasing day by day. And WHO estimated like depression would be in coming a few years, depression would be the first disorder like in the major prevalent disorders, and depression is symptom for many physical disorder, right? And suicide is also common among women in India. So these are the common, then some warning signs. Already I told this, like warning signs. If you have these signs, you please don't stop here. We have to take further step. Anything like poor performance, you, instead of like taking more substance, or poor judgment, or like emotions, like working slowly, missing the deadlines, difficulty in concentrating, as I said earlier also. Like sometimes our work gets disturbed, right? Difficulty in working, and people all know how much is too much, right? Fight or flight. You know, like alarm, there's an alarm reaction when we have stress. Either you fight or you flight. आप लड़ो या फिर वहां से भाग जाओ. तो this is like a normal stress reaction to our body, physically and mentally. So how to keep oneself mentally healthy, like positive steps, what we can do. Everyone knows these things. I don't think so कि people को नहीं मालूम होता है कि मैं mentally भी कैसे healthy रहे. But just to give you, just to refresh your mind, I just want to give some important steps where we can do, like give your time, your words, your presence. Give self, खुद को आप कितना टाइम एक दिन में देते हैं, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, बहुत मायने रखते हैं. And remember the simple things that give you joy. If I love to do cooking, I should see time how much I can spend for my cooking. The simple example I'm just telling, like connect, how you are feeling connected. Nowadays we all are like in a network world, social network world, right? We all are connected to each other, but there also we have to see, is it our proper good connection, whether it's a bad connection. I mean, we should share, we should learn to share everything and keep learning. Don't wait for any opportunity. You have to search for the opportunities and learn something new. If I wish to learn something new, I am always like enthusiastic person. So definitely I get an opportunity, and be active what you do. If you feel tired, okay, just wait for some moment and just change that mood and just find where we can become more active, and try to find those things, and eat well and live well. We all eat well, but only the things is we always love to eat whatever is abundant for us, whatever is not good for us. This is a normal human attitude, but definitely we must find a little time for like a balanced diet, protein, high rich protein diet, and for doing some plenty of like good juices, like as per the seasonal changes. If we do something, if you give caution to our food also, we can definitely do and move our body, like mean exercise, yoga, meditation. How many of us daily go for walking? That walking itself will increase our stamina, your energy, and that energy will boost us to work for whole day. It will give you energy. That itself give your blood circulation will improve, as well as to everything, blood circulation to all the system. So definitely, I know I will 2 minutes, I will wind up. And the balancing personal life and social, I mean professional life is very difficult actually nowadays, but still please try to find something we can do. We should give some time spent to our family as well as to our professional life as well as, and have fun. Take a time, whatever you like to enjoy in yourself, try to find that. Nobody can help you. सबसे पहले हमें खुद को identify करना, where I can find more help, more I can help myself and have a proper sleep. As an adult must get adequately 6 to 8 hours sleep. in a day. So we must see whether we are able to get adequate sleep. We should follow all the sleep hygiene and connect to nature. Generally, people feel when we get vacation, we'll take the my child, or like family sometimes feel to Bangalore or Delhi to Bombay, like cities. But if you ever find, if you're taking our child to any nature, like any forest or jungle or any like a garden, something, definitely our child will get more like life feeling. They will feel the need for life, like that nature connection. We should always try to find something, try to find the areas, try to explore more nature, like soil, water, trees, flowers. Definitely it will give you a calm, creative, curious mind, and get help. Don't feel bad to feel like to ask for any help. If I am having diabetes, I feel so proud to share. I don't feel shame to tell I am having diabetes. If I am having depression, I may feel very shame. This is the natural tendency of human being. But no, this is the right time to see how to take proper help and to break bad habits and to build good habits. Habit formation starts from childhood, but many of our habits are inculcating throughout our lives, right? So we can do some changes and have a proper reading of your books are also good enough. If you find something, maybe you can listen. Audio books are also nowadays available. If you don't find time to read the hard copies and all, you can just listen to it and some stories, some biographies, and earn sufficient money. Don't run for only earning money. Just try to find something to live comfortably, but don't live to earn money in life. And practicing gratitude, that is another good area. If you say thanks daily to 3 people, at least in your mind, when you're getting up from your bed, and just say thanks to God, or thanks to our any spiritual thoughts or anything, or thanks to for a proper sleep, thanks for a food, thanks for our health. We all are healthy. That's why we are here today. So this thanksgiving to self as well as to others, that expression will definitely create. And if possible, if you write something, no, that will journaling will help you to express our emotions actually. Like if you do something, writing something, no, like our unconscious thoughts will come when you write something rather speaking. So that is the thing. I want to share this instant emotional acts, but right now we don't have time. So my last slides, like, when the people have anxiety, they feel very sometimes they sound very confident. If anybody have depression, we may smile, jokes, they pass jokes. If anybody feels suicide, but they are very, like, they may show they are good and they appear fine. Please, this is my request, never ever judge any person with their inner world by outer world. If I'm seeing very happy today, that doesn't mean I am happy inside. So please check. We cannot assume like anything. If not you, who? That's a question. अगर हम खुद को हेल्प नहीं कर सकते तो देन कौन करेगा? If not now, अब नहीं है तो कब? So that is, no one should feel ashamed to talk about mental health. This is my request. And you must see, we should say publicly. Nowadays, celebrities also, like Deepika Padukone, they all admit they have depression, and also people getting awareness. The same way we nurses or we doctors or we medical professionals itself can make more awareness to the people, and we should get help. A sound body always lies in a sound mind. Okay, sound body in a sound body is a nice term. So smile is the exact makeup, and find time to smile also. And that's my humble request to everyone to please try to understand like ourselves first, and then only we can understand others also. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Chris, for a lovely practical tips. And this is true. I believe that if every day in the morning we thank God, not even God, whoever we believe in, I believe that the very fact that I'm able to breathe, I thank the universe. I have a roof on my head. I have food on my table. This is amazing. So if we can understand and be grateful for small things, then all the other things that Chris is saying about having good sleep, going for a walk, drinking adequate water, eating sensibly, do not eat anything that comes on your in front of you. This is a body. This is our body. And if not we, nobody else can take care of it. So Chris, it was great. Nice, simple talk for people. And now we have Rupa asking you a question for the public. Please, this is for public, and this will always lead to the next week's topic. So over to you, Rupa. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Can we disclose the result first and then we can? Okay.
We will see result later. You may please proceed for public health quiz.
Yeah. So today's public question: what is the common cause of urine urgency? High blood sugar, anxiety, infection, all above. What is the common cause of urine urgency? Let me translate in Hindi. This is a public question. Please, I request nurses and the nursing student not to participate in this. This is exclusively for the public. YouTube and Facebook viewer can participate in this. बार बार पेशाब आने का क्या कारण है? कॉमनेस्ट कारण क्या है? हाई ब्लड शुगर, डायबिटीज, एंजाइटी, किसी भी तरह का इंफेक्शन या सभी? Yeah. With that, we are just stopping this question here and we are moving to our next section. Shri ma'am, we cannot hear you.
Chris will talk about this show by the time Rupa will get it ready. The Talent Corner from People's University.
So all of us are talented in our unique way, right? But we just need to recognize our capacity and develop our talents to their full potential. So here I am inviting nursing students from People's College of Nursing, People's University, Bhopal, for a traditional dance. The dance name is Malwa dance or Matki dance, which is mostly performed in Malwa region of Madhya Pradesh, India. It is a dance performed by ladies on special occasions like weddings, birthdays, or any other special. In this dance, the ladies are dressed in saris or in lehenga, decorated with many ornaments. The main musical instrument used in this dance is dhol. Malwa dance is generally performed in a circular position, and they also have a veil on their face. So let's enjoy Malwa dance from People's Nursing College students.
Yeah. I request Krish to, can you see my screen?
Yes, only that screen, that video.
Yeah. Can you see the
folder.
video?
Yeah, folder only we can see.
No video?
No video.
No.
Can you see my screen now? Krish? Anybody from the core team?
Yes.
Can you see now?
Yes. We can
Okay.
proceed.
Just give me a second, please. Audio is clear?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Very well done.
So we'll just see the answer. Rupa, can I share?
Please go ahead, Chris.
Yes.
So the answer is for students, which are the two most promising careers, registered nurse and software developers. This was a news came on NDTV on 15th February, and we all can feel so proud that our profession is really the most promising and important career, right? And the public question answer is, what is the common cause of urine urgency? All the above, like high blood sugar, infection, and anxiety, all can cause urine urgency. So our winner for today's show from student section, it's a sign up Nas, who is from Dr. RML College of Nursing. And for public section, we could not find the exact, as it was told only to public that was given by Sanket. Details yet to be received. Thank you. And super job from all the participants. You all done well job, and congratulations to the winners as well. Thank you. And coming to the end of the show.
What is the next
I would
show?
like to,
Next show? What are we doing
it's
next
over,
show?
ma'am. That's what of time.
The
No,
next show
fine.
we watch out for on 12th of March. 12th of March is our next show. And we will come up with another debate, another public health talk by a urology nurse on urine urgency, and an exciting journey of Dr. Manju Dandapani, a neuroscience nurse. We will listen to her on 12th March. Do join us at 6 p.m. without fail. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
and,
much, everyone.
Thank you so much.